Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Step Up Your Studio, the podcast that is dedicated to providing you with the blueprint for your continued success. And today, joining us, two of our very good friends, Renee Stojik and Jason Neuwirth. Now, you might know these two, Renee from A Wish Come True and Jason from 42nd Street Tours. However, they have created a new company together, and these two powerhouses have come together to create Dance New York City.
Yeah, so you guys, why did you decide to create Dance New York City?
I can start. So Jason and I were on the UDMA board together for a lot of years. I think he was 5 and I was 8. And we really enjoyed putting on events together. We worked really well together. And after we retired, we thought, maybe we can do something like that. And we just started playing around with ideas. And both of us are the kind of people that can't stop doing things. So we just kept going.
Actually, we were on the UDMA board together, but we got on at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 and 8 doesn't make sense, but it's fine.
Oh, I was on a marketing.
Yeah.
I was on committees, I think.
So we were doing so much on the back end of the UDMA trade show, putting a CRM in place and doing some new software for running the actual show. And whenever, and you were doing all of the graphics and everything, and whenever we left the board, we were like, we should just do something on our own instead of just volunteering. We should actually do this for a second job. So that's what we did. And then we came and talked to you about it, and the rest is history there.
Yeah, absolutely. So exciting things are going to be coming up for Dance New York City. However, Dance Teacher Web has partnered with Dance New York City to create the first event for Dance New York City. I don't know how many we've done. I've stopped counting, but we've teamed all 4 of us up together to present the costume liquidation sale. Now, super, super pumped about this. Now, I'm not bragging or blowing my own horn, but this has been something that has been on my radar. Back before these two were on the UDMA board, I was on there as well. And this was a concept that I proposed with the idea of trying to make this a win for the costume companies to potentially liquidate some inventory that they have, a win for the dance studio owner who could save some money along the way as well.
And he definitely did want to do it. He kept going on about it, and UDMA didn't want to pick up on it, and so we just let it lie low.
Yes, and then these guys came along and said, hey, I said to them, I've always wanted to do this, and I think I said, I've always wanted to do this, and they both said, yes, let's do it. So we've joined all forces together. So why don't you guys talk a little bit about the event and what we have planned?
Sure. So the event is it's in August. It's going to be at the Sheridan Valley Forge, which is right next to the King of Prussia Mall, which is a gigantic mall that sits near Philadelphia. The event is going to be multiple breakout rooms like you would have at any dance trade show, but in these breakout seminar rooms, each one of the costume brands and dancewear brands is going to have their own room. So when you shop their brand, you'll walk down the hallway and you'll go into that brand's room, and it'll be set up with all of their stuff. They'll have their anything that they're liquidating. They'll have at least one of them there for you to look at. Some of the brands will probably have boxes of stuff there for you to just cash and carry with you. So you just one door to the next and keep on making all these purchases at a very low rate because it's all liquidation.
Yeah, the idea is that there'll be special rates they can't get anywhere else any other time. And we've kind of made that clear with the vendors that these have to be really special, exclusive deals.
Yes, and I just wanted to do a quick run by of the people who are going to be doing it with us. The costume companies: A Wish Come True, Capezio, Layla's, Discount Dance, Costume Gallery, Jake Nothing, Sugar Lulu, and Dansko. And then you want to talk about the other?
Well, yeah, I mean, all of those are powerhouse as far as having lots of great costumes. And like Renee said, these are going to be, really deeply discounted costumes. So that's going to make us very, very happy. And then we also have our featured vendors. So why don't you guys talk about the concept of that, and we can talk about who our sponsors are, who our sponsor for the event is, and how folks are going to be able to connect to with our featured vendors.
Good.
Okay. So our big sponsor for the event is 22 Ticks. We only wanted to work with people who we've had collaboration with in the past, and we know are great vendors, and they've had a history of being great vendors, and Choo Choo Ticks was top on the line of that. So they are our sponsor for our event. We're very happy to have them there. We're hoping they bring some good swag. All of our vendors will probably have some good swag to hand out. Do you want to go through a couple of the other people?
Sure. So the Journey Dance competition is going to be there. That's Joel's company. And there is, in addition to them, who do we have? We have Journey.
Harlequin.
For flooring. I don't have a list in front of me. I'm looking at this.
I do, so I'll tell you.
Okay.
Harlequin, Jack Rabbit. You mentioned Journey Dance competition. Purple Fox Productions also.
And 42nd Street Tours and Dance Teacher Web will be having booths there. So yeah, we're gonna, and it'll be a great opportunity. Like Jason and Renee said, you're gonna get some great swag. You're gonna be able to connect with these folks and talk about the products and services that they have to offer.
And what I really like about it is the individual rooms, because it's sort of an intimate setting where, you know, you can go to look for your costumes and you can have a nice talk with the people concerned, and it's just a different vibe, and I think people are going to really have fun with that.
I know one thing that we were that we all talked about, and I know you guys thought this was a great idea too, is we're going to give so the more you shop at the show, the better your chance is of winning the grand prize drawing.
Ooh, let's talk about that, because we love giving away stuff for free, especially.
I've noticed this at your show. Yes, I know. Somehow my booth at your show is always by that drawing at the end, and it is mayhem over there. We just pull back our table and get out of the way.
We love giving stuff.
Yeah. So the drawing is for up to, or maybe past, $10,000 worth of costume and dancewear credits and other industry credits. So all of the costume and dancewear companies will give some sort of voucher that's going to go in there, and a lot of the other companies who are the featured vendors will also be doing the same. I'm sure that I will have something there, 1,000 or two in travel certificates
and it's
for
going
you.
to be one studio that gets
one
it, so it's
studio.
Big.
Yeah, so we're going to have some other prizes along the way that we're going to give out as well, but this grand prize is going to be for one studio. So for you to enter into this whenever you're shopping, you go ahead and you do your purchase, and there's a little QR code on the wall. You scan that QR code, you take a picture of your receipt, you're done.
Yeah.
And so the more you spend, the greater chance you have of
tickets
winning.
You have.
But I mean, truthfully, if you didn't spend a lot, you know, you still have a pretty good chance of winning this thing. So.
Yeah, but you should spend a lot, because
spend a lot, yeah.
Because imagine this, studio owners. You've gone to this event, you've spent money, however, you've saved a lot on these costumes, which now, you know, you can make money with your studio. And then walking out the door, you hear your name being called as the winner of this grand prize of up to 10,000, could be more, of products and services. Folks, home run, not just a home run, a grand slam home run walk off in the bottom of the ninth. Folks, this is a must. You got to come. There's no guarantee you're going to win that, but we also have some other fun giveaways. I don't know if we should do a teaser or not. What do you guys think?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
absolutely.
so let's talk about the little teasers.
We like transparency. It's fine.
So we want to do the.
Go ahead. You can. Yeah.
So one of the things we're doing is themed booze baskets. So individual companies will have a basket that's themed for their cocktail, and we'll be raffling those off throughout the days. So Jason has decided you're going to have an old-fashioned one, right?
Yeah,
and that's already in the process.
42nd Street Tours will have an old-fashioned booze basket.
We're going to have all the fixings, so you can make it every piece from the. I use brown sugar.
What kind of bourbon
cubes.
is going to be in my basket?
It's Basil Hayden.
Basil
That's
Hayden,
his
good.
favorite. The cherries, the good cherries, everything, and then all his swag will be in there too. You know, and you've got some good swag.
Yeah.
You know, hats, t-shirts, pens. You have the best notepads. They're the right size.
Yetis.
Yeah, Yetis. Yeah. So we're hoping that we'll have a ton of those baskets to raffle off. We're very excited about them.
Yeah. So throughout the show, we're gonna you'll see Steve, or you'll see Angie or Renee or me. We'll just walk into one of the rooms while you're shopping, and we're going to say, okay, here's the raffle, and it'll just happen right there. So these baskets are, they're worth a lot of money as well. So it's a pretty good time for everybody.
We want to keep the vibe really fun. I think that Steve and Angie, you guys have been to a sample sale at a costume company in the past, and I've hosted a sample sale at A Wish Come True in the past. So we have different experiences of it, but when we brought those two things together, it made a lot of sense. So I know I've seen teachers come in and pull a ton of things off the rack, whether it's samples, which there's one or a couple of, and they put a holiday show together with all the pieces, so they don't have to be all the same. And then I've seen them come in and get deeply discounted things, especially for their babies, where they kind of know the sizes all the time, and they can buy a couple extra. And I mean, I had a nonprofit walk out of A Wish Come True once with everything they needed for the year, and they were so happy about it. But how did you guys do it when you sample sale?
I think some I did by guesswork. I had a vague idea of who we were going to use, and basically I did what they do at in any of the shows. If you fit the costume, you're in.
Yeah, and plus because of the pricing, you could buy, like Renee said, you buy extra, and even if you do have extra costumes, they're not like going to spoil, right? So maybe you have 3 or 4 extras, so now you keep those, and in a couple years you have a little a little
small group or a
yeah.
trio or something like that.
Yeah, but however, we want to make it clear that I'm going to be perfectly blunt here. I know some people are concerned. They've been maybe to some of these, and let's be honest, it's been a shit show. The people are running into these things, pulling stuff out.
I remember going head first into a box.
Yeah,
is that going to be on the cutting room floor? Are you allowed to say that on this podcast? Is this on HBO?
Yeah, no, we're absolutely allowed to, say that. So, and the other thing is that, it's going to be organized. Yes. It's going to be absolutely civilized. We're going to make sure that this is a great experience for you. And I just want to circle back to something that Jason said a little earlier. So just to be clear, there are going to be some of the companies there that will have inventory that you will take with you, right? So they'll give you a big bag, they'll fill it up, and you'll walk out like Santa Claus with all these costumes or dance wear. Others, they'll bring one of. So let's just say, A Wish Come True has 30 different styles there. You can pick it up, touch it, twirl it. They'll have the inventory, so they'll know, okay, we have X of these and this sizes, and then you can place your order. And then Renee, talk about how that then fulfillment will take place.
Yep. So it would happen very similar to a regular purchase, but the difference is they get to touch it and feel it and see it in person. And they also get a price that they can't get anywhere
And else. They know it's in stock.
And they know it's in stock. Yeah. So we'll be taking, and I'm sure a lot of the costume companies will be doing differently, but our plan, and I think it's a good plan for everyone, is we'll be deducting inventory as we go. So we'll have a live list of what we actually have available. Yeah, so we're checking out this customer, we have 20 small childs left. They bought 14. We have, we'll know everything as we go along as people check out. And that's one of the things we had said too about getting there early. And, if you get there, it's first come, first serve, not chaotic, but first come, first serve.
Well, I would also say to teachers, and studio owners, you're seeing this podcast, find out now, have a think now what numbers you might be doing and who you might be able to use. And I mean, we've even, we had one situation where we had a costume that was a little too small, but we had another costume. So we got a seamstress to put them together kind of thing. And that's another thing you can do because they're so inexpensive. You can do that,
Yeah.
Studio owners that have shopped with our stuff that way, they look for competition things because it's smaller groups and they have who's going to be on your team next year. In August, who's on your team.
You do, yeah.
Working with them for years and what their sizes are. And I'm telling you, we've given things away. It feels like we give them away. $100 costume, it's $10. Like you have to search but they're in there, and that turns into money for your studio.
Well, that's what this is all about too, because I know, Steve, you said earlier, no, we want you to spend a lot of money. Actually, we want you to not spend a ton. You know what I mean? We want you to save a little money because the costumes are going to be up to 80% off. Not all of them will be, but some of them will be. There's going to be some costumes from $9.99 for a costume. I mean, if you're reselling these things in your studio, there's a very large margin
Yeah.
whenever you're buying them at that price.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, if you spend a lot, you're gonna, in the end, make a lot
Yeah.
because
A
right,
lot,
you're gonna have this,
yeah.
you're gonna have this inventory of costumes, and some of it, I know, like in the past, even when we would go to a sale, we maybe didn't even use it for that season, but we kept it because we were like, you know what, this is still, we bought 20 of this. Okay, we didn't really have anything this year for it, but we keep it in the inventory because it's something,
Yes. We know we'll use eventually.
yeah, and not that you
Yeah.
want a whole lot of costume inventory if that's not your vibe, or you have the space, you don't have the space. We were fortunate we had the space, but the main thing here is that you have a costume, like Jason said, that can be, maybe it's 50, 60, 70% less than what you normally spend for a costume. And that, now when you sell it to your customer, obviously you don't have to give them that discount. Look at folks, you're spending time,
Yeah.
you're coming to this event. So the markup should be, whatever your costumes are selling at is there. So it's, it's what people in the industry do all the time, right? They sell it here and they buy it, wherever they can buy it, they try to buy it.
Yeah. And, I bought a whole set of costumes. In fact, I think I did it with 2 or 3. And I said to my teachers, make a number to fit the costume.
Yeah.
And they did. And it worked out great.
We have studio owners that do that just on a normal year. They'll see a costume, they'll fall in love with it and say, I'm gonna make a dance around that. We're gonna do a performance because I love what that looks like. And the same thing can happen at the sale, except you're doing it for way less money.
Oh,
Way-
absolutely.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
you're doing it for less money, and you can make a lot of money with it. So,
And if you win that $10,000 grand prize,
well, that too, yes, and all the other things, all the other vendors, not the costume companies, the other
Featured,
they're going to be also having all kinds of deals too.
yeah,
So
and giveaways. Exactly.
you can't lose, really.
No, it's going to
Exactly.
be, it's going to be a blast, an absolute blast. So folks, tell them, why don't you guys tell them where they should go? What's the URL that they need to visit to partake in the costume liquidation sale?
It's dancecostumesforless.com, and you could type out the word for, F-O-R, or you can just put the number 4, but it's dancecostumesforless.com, and that will take you there to the Dance Costume Liquidation Sale website, and you can grab your ticket there. And for you, and also, so a studio owner has to be the one making this purchase to go to it, but you can bring teachers with you as well if you'd like to bring some of your staff with you. Very inexpensive show to attend, definitely less expensive if you're going to do it online ahead of time than at the door, but still inexpensive there as well.
And I think, Jason, we should also talk about the hotel.
I was going to say.
Sure. Well, it's actually in a hotel. It's in the convention area of a hotel, but it's the Sheridan Valley Forge, and it's kind of located where near a bunch of highways. You're near 95. You're near
The Turnpike.
495. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pennsylvania Turnpike. So it's easy to get there from anywhere around Philadelphia for sure. But New Jersey, you can come down from New York. It wouldn't take you very long. From Delaware, you could throw a stone at it probably. Maryland is very close. So
Connecticut, Mass. I mean, I know we used to drive down there for a competition. It was like 2 hours for us to get down.
People are buying tickets for our show already from Tennessee and Michigan, and they're coming from all over the place. So
the money you're going to save, it's worth coming from anywhere in the United States.
Road trip, baby, road trip.
Even Canada.
And like I said, it's right next to the gigantic King of Prussia Mall, but it's also right next to a casino too. Not gonna lie, so there's that little bit of fun there if you want.
And if you want to bring your husband, there's golf courses there too.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
There is.
Yeah.
Or they can go learn about George Washington. I think there's a whole history thing right there.
There we go.
But the mall is awesome if anybody's coming from
It is.
far away. It used to be the largest mall in America. It is a upscale, beautiful mall. So get all your work shopping done on Saturday, and then on Sunday run over and look at all the pretty things.
Yeah, let's talk about the hours of the event. So for the Saturday, Saturday, April 22nd, we kick off.
August.
Oh gosh, yeah. August. Hello, August 22nd. Yes, August 22nd. So go ahead, you guys take it.
I don't have them in front of me here, but I believe the hours are from 11 o'clock until 5
on Saturday.
And then the next day is 9 to 2?
9 to 1, I believe. Yeah.
9 to 1 on Sunday. Okay.
Yeah.
So 11 to 5 on Saturday, August, not April, August 22nd. And on Sunday, August 23rd, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. And both days is going to be plenty of stuff. Obviously, you know, if you come for both days, like Jason said, we have a discounted hotel room rate at the hotel. That's if you go to that URL, the Dance Costumes for Less, you can see the information there about how to book your room. We have, I know the rooms have been going pretty fast so far. So if you are interested in coming and you want to get a discounted hotel room rate, go to the website and you can click on and book your room from there. And we're going to have a great time. It's going to be going to be all about saving, folks. It's going to be about giving you as much value as possible at this event. And who knows, you know, you may also go away with one of these extra little prizes that we
or
have.
the big prize,
or the head honcho of the prize, the big one.
Yeah, so if you're flying in, save a little bit of room in your luggage, or you might have to go over to King of Prussia to buy another piece, because if you win one of these baskets, you have to be able to get your booze home.
Yeah, really. That's actually, Jason, I'm glad you brought that up. Best airport to fly into, is it Philly, or can they fly into Newark, or?
They really could do both. Philly would be a bit closer than Newark would be for sure, but you could really do both. I mean, if it's a lot less expensive to fly into Newark, and if you were planning on renting a car, then I would absolutely save the money on the flight.
But Philadelphia is about 20 miles. Philadelphia Airport's about 20 miles from the mall, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So it's not that far. It depends on traffic, like everywhere else.
Like a road trip.
Yeah, hop in the car and come on.
See America as you come across, and
well, I mean, that's I think if you could drive, that's kind of a perk, only because if you
are stuff.
you can exactly, you can fill your car.
But you know, we'll find a way to get the stuff to you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, by hook or by crook.
So when like we said, we have some really 5-star companies coming, and there's plenty of inventory that folks have to sell. And you know, as Renee said, there's going to be, you know, discounted rates from, you know, that you can only get at this event. So we're really excited about it, and excited to do the Dance New York City's first event with DTW, but it's not going to be our last. We're already making plans for Dance Costume Liquidation sale in 2026 and some other stuff. You'll have to stay tuned to hear about that. But this is going to be fantastic.
Well, we're excited. I think it's great. You know, anytime we can help studio owners, you know, do better, find better, more easier ways to do things and make more money, we're for it, because that's what it's all about. You know, providing a great service, but helping at the same time.
Yeah.
And us as a costume company, we're excited to get maybe in front of people who haven't had a chance to see our brand before. So, you know, if you haven't had a chance to buy costumes through Discount Dance or Layla's in the past, maybe this is the time where you see it in person. You know, you're not just looking on their website, you can actually see and touch things, because the quality of the things that are going to be there is the same quality that everyone's brands is. It's not like a lower brand. It is stuff.
It's also nice to meet the people that it's a B2B relationship, right? So if your studio, you're putting out your money on something, it's nice to talk to the people from the company who will be at the show, and meet them face to face and have a good relationship with them. So when you need something, you can pick up the phone and call, you can email, and you know who it is you're talking to, which is really nice.
That is really important. You know, those relationships go a long way.
Yeah. 100%. No, I love it. And, you know, as far as a side note, personal note, you know, we love working with these two. It's been a lot of fun. We each have our own funnel that we're focused on and working on, and we've all played very nicely together. So
we don't really particularly, but the rest of us.
So, you know, I just want to say, you know, we really enjoy working with you guys. This has been so far a really fun venture. More to come, but you know, we think the world of both of you, and are thankful to partner with you on this event. I think it's
Yes.
going to be awesome.
Thank
Yep.
you for pulling us along.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm glad we decided to talk to you about doing some stuff. This is
Oh, I know. Yeah.
See
You
you
see what
Sat-
happens over dinner in New York City.
Right.
You never know what's going to
Yeah,
come
in
out.
all fairness, I had to bribe him though, so we had to take him out to dinner at his new favorite restaurant in Manhattan.
Yes, that Jason turned us on to. Should we give him a plug? Why
We should
not?
do-
They
we
have
should
great
plug it.
Italian food.
Chaz Palminteri's restaurant. If you remember Chaz Palminteri, he wrote A Bronx Tale and starred in it with Robert De Niro. And he has a restaurant in New York City on which is it on 47th?
7th.
Yeah.
Yeah,
47th,
47th.
yes.
Yeah.
Like right past Little Brazil, kind of.
Yes. Yeah. Uh-huh.
So
That's
if you ever need anything from Steve, if you need him to say yes to something, you take him to dinner there, then you take him to see the Rockettes. And it's
And then afterwards we went to see the Radio City. Jason
Yes.
took us to the Radio City Music
We had a
Hall
great time.
Christmas Spectacular. Folks, if you haven't been,
You got to see it. It's always great.
and
I
if you
know a
want
company
to
you
take,
can book it with for your
yeah, exactly.
Yes.
42nd Street
Street.
Tours, they'll hook you up to bring your group down to check it out. It's a blast in New York. That time of the year is really spectacular with everything from Rockefeller Center and everything that's all decked out in the Christmas.
It is wonderful. And also, we hope we'll see you at the Dance Teacher Web Conference in Las Vegas this July 22nd through the 25th. And we can even tell you more about this.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see you there. And obviously, Jason, 42nd Street Tours will be there.
Yes.
Renee with The Wish Come True. And like Angie said, you can talk to any of us too about the costume liquidation sale at that event. And
Yes.
I wonder if Renee knows what my booze basket might be for Dance Teacher Web. What do you think?
I think I know.
You do? Okay.
And,
Yeah,
and the
and-
instructions were very clear.
yeah,
Yes.
very clear
Yeah.
because
Well, actually, it's going to be a shared basket. So there'll be
Okay.
2 different things in there.
Okay.
but shaking it.
we might just do 2 baskets, one for Saturday, one for Sunday.
Okay.
What is the adjective that we need to describe how the ice is?
Glacial.
That's it's ice.
Gotta shake it so it's glacial. Shake it.
It's just the music.
And Renee knows this because in her former life, she happened to be a bartender too, a woman of many, many, many talents. That's for sure. Well, folks, thank you so much for joining us on this podcast. Again, join us. It'll be a wonderful opportunity for you to save some money and to make some money along the way. And who knows, you may just win one of those grand prizes, and we will all be there during the event. So,
Yes.
we're always present at the events that we put on, and we'll have great conversations and great connections during the event. So again, Renee, Jason, thanks for joining
Thank you.
us. And thank you everyone for watching another podcast of Step Up Your Studio. We'll see you next time. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.